If there's a desire that you are in alignment with, then you are passionately following the trail of the evolution of your desire. But when you say, how long do I have to focus on a desire? That means you're not focused on the desire. You're focused upon the what is. If you're talking about the absence of them, you could focus on them forever and never accomplish them. Because as long as you're focused in opposition to it, it's slow going. It's not easy for many of you to realize that you've done the work, you've identified the particulars, you've accomplished the creation, and now your work is to get out of the way of it and to wait for the inspiration that moves you closer. But when you are focused upon your desire's absence, that inspiration doesn't come, does it? These are new thoughts. This is a new, moving into a new understanding in this deliberate creation process. So just relax. You'll hear it easily. It's not complicated. It's going to make perfect sense to you as you hear it. So you have the sense of thoughts turning to things, vibrations that become thoughts, that become ideas, that become action, that become creation. And this is such a joyful process when there is no resistance at this point. So the resistance comes in step one. Resistance is sort of sifting and sorting through the contrast, but then you launch the desire. So asking causes you to launch it. That's step one. And then the law of attraction and your inner being gather all the cooperative components. That's step two. That's not your work. You ask and now it's given. And now your work is to get into the receiving mode and then to experience the deliciousness of the unfolding of what you are creating. It's such a nice way to live. And as soon as something manifests, as many things are manifesting, many more things are on their way to manifesting. There's just this constant thing happening. So it's popping into manifestation, and then that's done. Unless you want to amend it by experiencing contrast in it and then putting more back into the vortex. So there's this constant recycling of desires. And why? For the thrill of focusing them into being, and for the satisfaction of getting to have your hands in the clay about it. You came as creators to get your hands in the clay. You didn't come to move around the pieces that you've created so much. And yet it's where almost everybody wants to put most of their attention. So now we're about to give you a blockbuster understanding about this. You followed that so far, so this is really good. You're ready for this. So the thing about giving so much of your attention to manifestations is that when you do, you put the drag on the other stuff, because you've got to insure it, you've got to move it around, you've got to put it in the garage, you've got to take care of it. There are so many things that require action, many of which you are resistant to. Because so much of your attention is upon what's already manifested, you slow down the process of what you're really here about. So when you're all fixated on what's going on in physical and want to fix it and want to improve it and want to explain it and want to be understood and so forth, it's like you've stopped this game altogether, when this is where all the fun is. This is where all the fun is. The ideas flowing, the new awareness is coming, the following the new passion or the new feeling of exhilaration, and then seeing something explode that seems impossible. It's like magic. It's like, where did that come from? How could that be happening to me? How could that be happening to me? Well, that's the way you're meant to live your life. And if you will stop examining all of the manifestations, you take your stuff and your relationships and you catalog them and you pigeonhole them and you evaluate them and you discuss them, and that's not where the juice is. That's not where the fun of life is. That's evidence of manifestation. And so what we're saying to you is, you are about the creating, not about the creation. Because life is creating. Creation is sort of done. You got to get off of it and go with the new. Because a relationship can continue to evolve. It can continue to be and be and be. It can blossom and be more and more and more. It can be everything that it produces within you the desire for it to be. If this time-space reality has the wherewithal to create a desire within you, this time-space reality has the wherewithal to produce it. So if a manifestation has the wherewithal to produce a new desire within you, that manifestation has the wherewithal to produce the improvement too. We are not saying don't focus on the things you've got. We just want you to understand the process. So it's the way you feel. Do you feel alive or do you feel tired? Do you feel energized or do you feel lethargic? Do you feel happy or do you feel pensive? Do you feel eager or do you feel guarded? Do you feel happy or do you feel annoyed? Do you want to compliment or do you want to criticize? In other words, that's how you know what you've got going on in this pipeline. This pipeline between your vortex and your manifestation is where you want to be. That's the creative sweet spot, you see. If you're appreciating something, you're still adding momentum to it. That's what the word appreciation means. Adding more unto. Ooh, that's worth thinking about. This might be a new game to play with yourself. I really depreciate you. I really depreciate you as I noticed that you didn't perform in the way that I needed you to. So I really depreciate you. And in the process, I've disconnected myself from all of this too. And I'm blaming you. Because if you were appreciatable, I'd be appreciating. You need to shape up. Because if I were appreciating you, then my valve would be open, my flow would be happening, my juices would be flowing, and insights would be coming, and passion would be mine. But see what we're getting at? So everything is perceptual, isn't it? Is it balance? Yes. It's the balance of looking for what feels the best right where I am. And you can't just cease to be in a moment. Sometimes you want to be. Take me. But you can. There's always looking for something that feels better. And then, the renewal that sleeping will give you, and the new day that appreciation and meditation can bring you. Yeah.